Today's Storehouse Storytime is brought to you by Dream Empire Publishing, focused on stories that move, touch, and inspire. Friends, welcome to Storehouse Storytime. I'm Ronnie, and you guys, today's story, super cool. It's called Polly and the Screen Time Overload. This story is by Betsy Childs Howard and illustrated by Samara Hardy, and I'm excited to get into this one. Let's get started. It happened during the last week of July, Polly's favorite week of the year. Ever since she could remember, Polly had spent the week of her birthday on her grandparents' farm. Polly lived in a city where children don't go outside without a grown-up. Her only pet was a fish, but on the farm there were 28 chickens, 5 pigs, 3 cows, and a horse named Mustard. Even better, there were cousins. And they lived on the farm in the house next to Gammy and Gamps, and when she visited, Polly played with them from morning to night. Sounds super fun, friends, right? Polly couldn't wait to gather eggs with Gammy in the morning before breakfast. She couldn't wait to help Gamps milk the cows and throw scraps to the pigs. She would ride Mustard to the blueberry patch, where she would eat her fill of blueberries, and then she would run next door to invite her cousins to play in the barn. On the first day of the last week of July, Polly's mother came in to wake her, but Polly was already dressed, sitting on her freshly made bed. Her suitcase was packed, and she was ready to go to the farm. And when Polly and her mother arrived, Gammy and Gamps ran out to welcome her. "Happy birthday, Polly!" they cried as they gave her big hugs. "We have a surprise for you." Polly raced into the kitchen where she found a chocolate birthday cake, and a present with her name on it. "The present is from your Aunt Patty," said Gammy. "She mailed it to us because she knew you were coming to visit. Aunt Patty didn't have children, and she always sent the very best presents." Gammy cut a piece of cake for Polly and her mother while Polly opened her gift. She couldn't believe her eyes. Aunt Patty had bought Polly her very own iTab, just what she always wanted. Before Polly's mother drove away in her car, she gave Polly a hug and said, "Don't spend too much time on your iTab. You only have a week on the farm, and you don't want to waste it on a screen." Polly nodded, even though she wasn't paying much attention. She was thinking about all the games kids talked about at school, games she could now play on her new iTab. Polly spent the rest of her birthday downloading games. Her cousins, Rob and Paige, came over and watched her, but it's not very interesting to watch someone else use an iTab. After a while, they got bored and they went home. Uh-oh, friends. It's beginning. During dinner, Polly used her iTab to show her grandparents videos of horses doing silly things. Meanwhile, Mustard was in the barn, but Polly never thought of going out to see him. And after dinner, Gamps asked Polly if she wanted to go with him to feed table scraps to the pigs. But Polly was busy playing an iTab game, one where you throw tomatoes at cats. So she said, "No thanks." The next morning, Gammy tried to wake her when she went to gather the eggs, but Polly just yawned and said, "Go ahead without me." Tired from her late night, she could barely stay awake during breakfast. But afterward, when she turned on her iTab, she suddenly felt wide awake. Friends, have you ever felt like that? At first you were tired and sluggish, then you turned on your device, and guess what? Now you're wide awake. All of the energy came back to you. Well, Polly barely looked up from the screen when Rob and Paige came in to see if she wanted to help them build a fort in the barn. What fun, right? "But no thanks," said Polly. "I'm building a castle in this cool program on my iTab." And for the rest of the day, Polly played and watched and laughed, but she did it all alone on her iTab. She didn't go outside, and she didn't help around the farm. She didn't talk to Gammy and Gamps. She just looked at her iTab. And then, midway through the afternoon, the screen went black. Uh-oh. Sounds like her iTab battery died. Polly knew what to do though. She ran to her room, found the charger, and plugged it in. Watching a dead iTab charge is not very interesting. So she left it in the room and went outside. She found Gamps in the barn feeding Mustard. Mustard perked right up when he saw Polly, and he nuzzled her shoulder. She picked up a brush and began to brush his coat. "Hey there, sweetie pie. I'm glad to see you out of the house," Gamp said to Polly. "It made me sad to see you missing out on playing with your cousins." "I really love my iTab," said Polly. "It's not wrong to play on my iTab." Gamp thought for a minute. No, it's not wrong. But sometimes things that are good can make us miss out on something even better. And friends, God has given us many good gifts. But he says we can only truly enjoy them when they don't take over our lives. Gamp handed Polly a lump of sugar to feed to Mustard. You know, Mustard loves sugar. But if he ate only sugar, he wouldn't eat this good grain that will keep him healthy. You love your iTab, right? We do. But if we play on it all day, you'll miss out on lots of other great things that are good for little girls and little boys, like helping around the farm and playing with your cousins. Polly didn't say anything, but she left the stable and walked to the other side of the barn. She thought she might find her cousins there, but she didn't see them. She felt sad. Then she heard voices. "Hello?" She called out. "Polly, is that you?" she heard her cousin Rob say. "In here." Polly noticed a small opening in the bales of hay and crawled through it to find her cousins on the other side. "Welcome to our hideout." The hay fort was just like a room with 4 walls. Though they were made of hay bales, Rob and Paige were busy making a secret passage that would lead to another room. "And Gamps gave us permission," Paige said. Super cool, right, friends? Polly spent the next hour working with Rob and Paige on the fort. She didn't even think once about her iTab. And before she knew it, she heard Gammy ringing the dinner bell. "You better get home," Rob said. "Want to help us tomorrow? First thing after breakfast?" "You bet," said Polly. All through dinner with Gammy and Gamps, Polly talked about the fort. Gamps told her about the hay bale fort he had built with his brothers when he was young. Unlike Rob and Paige, Gamps and his brothers did not have permission and got into big trouble. After dinner, Polly went with Gamps to feed the pigs. "Gamps," she asked, "do you think it would hurt Aunt Patty's feelings if I put my iTab away for the rest of my time here? I don't want to miss out on all the really fun things because I'm stuck in front of a screen." "I think that will be a very wise idea, sweetie pie," he said. "I'm sure Aunt Patty would want you to enjoy the farm, and when you get home, your mom can help you figure out a plan for how to enjoy your iTab some of the time rather than all of the time." The iTab stayed in Polly's room for the rest of the week, but Polly didn't. She spent the week riding Mustard, and this is Polly riding Mustard, gathering eggs. Polly's gathering eggs. Picking blueberries. Friends, this is Polly and Gammy picking blueberries and playing with her cousins Rob and Paige. What fun! And the end. Friends, I know we love our devices. We love playing on our devices, playing games and watching YouTube videos, kind of like what we're doing now. But it can take up so much time, and there's so many other wonderful things that you can be doing and learning, places you can be going. So just do it in moderation. Create a plan with your mom and dad or a grown-up that you trust, that you love, and figure out how to make the most of your time. There's so many wonderful things out here to do, friends, okay? So until next time, have a fantastic week.